Amy. I live in Waxahachie, and we just do live streams of the public meetings to get people, let people know what's going on. It's pretty. It's informal, very informal. I just kind of just, hey people, there's a senior center in Waxahachie.
That's great.
They have board meetings. If you want to know more, come to the board meetings, talk to the people, stuff like that. So,
You gonna record the whole thing?
yeah, we just let it run.
Were you recording last night?
That was not me. That was
Yeah.
Melissa Olson.
I think she has to have your release for your face on the camera. You have to sign.
No, as a public
Oh, it's
servant,
a
we can't be.
Yeah, under the
I just know that
Texas.
my members have to have a release.
Yeah, your member's correct, but us as public servant can be.
Yeah, it's-
Can be.
Board
It
meetings.
keeps me on leash.
Yeah, board meetings fall under the Texas Open Meetings Act.
Oh, okay.
So,
No, I'm happy to have you. I do
Yeah.
more marketing for the senior center out there. I love it.
there you
What
go.
did we do without
Do we
cell
need to wait
phones?
one more minute?
Well, Mark may.
A lot more work is what we did
Yeah,
without cell phones.
that's correct.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start, and Lee's gonna open us up, please.
Our Heavenly Father, we're grateful for this day and this opportunity to come together to do your work and serve the community of the Waxahachie Senior Center. Bless us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Go ahead, thank you. Okay, the minutes of the meeting, did y'all have time to look at the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Okay, financial report, ending December 31st, 2017.
Yes, this is for, I went ahead and just pulled it for the whole year instead of last quarter because, we didn't have a meeting in December, so. I did separate the STEM Garden financials from the centers because I wanted to show you guys our community campaign funds that we've received. So that's a better visual for you when you look at that separate profit and loss.
Okay, but you didn't give us a copy for that, right?
It's in your
the
packet.
packet,
It's
okay.
in your packet. Here, here's two extra packets. And you can have mine here, you can have my profit and loss, and then if you just ask me questions, I'll try to wing it. I think I remember.
I didn't get any mail yesterday.
Oh, you didn't, I'm sorry. And then, and the balance sheet. Now, these are the financials on our, 410 account, our, the Compass Bank account, and the, 9580 account. So these are our expenditures for the year for the center. Like on some you'll see like the art department, anything that we have charged for, like supplies and like stepping stone materials, the garden fees, things like that. You'll see the expenses itemized on those, profit and loss there. You'll see income and expenses. We did just renew our garden application, so all of the monies that, really almost all of the monies that came in, we retrieved about $1,478 for our garden fees. All that money, most of it came in January, so it does not reflect on these figures. You'll see it on the next profit and loss for the first quarter. But the expenses, we pay for garden materials, spraying, dirt, rose soil, compost. If we have to have repairs done on some of the garden area, that is for the Hickerson Memorial Garden and Park. So those are some of the expenses, and some of the things that you'll see are special events. If we do like a dance, or if we have the Veterans Day where we serve lunch, if I went and bought a cake, that falls into special events and stuff. So you'll see some expenses. I've tried to adhere to the city's, Charlie with finance has asked me to make sure that we have income, most of our expenses are through my city budget. And that way he has money coming in, money goes out. We are right on track with our budget for the city for membership, and as well as for the sponsorship money, the $2,500 that the city allocated. Right. The money that the $2,500 that the city gave us for the sponsorship for the scholarships has been paid back to the city, and the
Are you,
first 3 quarters of the United Way money has also been paid to the city for transportation and membership. So we still have $2,400 out that I would let you pay for them, pay for that in January. I just received the first quarter check. Tomorrow is United Way, I'll pick up that first quarter check.
okay.
So you'll see some money coming in, like United Way and Navarro or Hilco. That money coming in from our public grants. That's separate. That's not part of the STEM garden. That's why I separated the profit and loss this time for you. Those monies coming in, United Way pays for transportation, special like health and wellness seminars and materials, as well as the meals for our members that are on fixed incomes. And part of the Hilco and part of the Navarro money that's coming in also, that's allocated for the equipment that we purchased. And they all require receipts and invoices. Navarro just granted us $3,000. We are replacing one of our old machines with that money. Diane Anderson and I meet with our fitness rep Friday to see about purchasing that equipment. But that money will come from Navarro. So as far as our profit and loss and our balance sheet on that account, the 9580 account, and that reflects our expenditures for this center. It has nothing to do with the new STEM garden project.
Okay. Okay, so did anyone have any questions about the financials? Right. Okay, do you want to look at the STEM garden one and see if there's any questions on that?
You want to,
Or you want to do that? Okay, we'll wait on that. We'll come back to that one later. Okay.
I make a motion that we accept the
Financials.
financials.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, then they're accepted as is. Okay, review be a Santa to a senior.
Yes. If you guys, if you didn't bring your packets, I did a little spreadsheet for you to let you know how many gifts we actually did receive and how many gifts that we actually delivered and where they were sent to. Y'all can pass that down. We also did receive a very nice letter from the VA, the Living Center that we delivered gifts to in Dallas. We did have, as we talked about in the last meeting, that if we had extra gifts, you would let me go ahead and send the extra gifts out to other areas. And we did. We were able to help a home in Hillsboro and also the VA Living Center. We took 100 gifts up there. And Lee helped me transport all those gifts. So we did it on our time. Didn't cost the city any money or any gas or anything. We just, we took, while I was off on vacation, Lee helped me take them. We took 2 carloads up there. So thank you for letting me, again, do that program. It benefited a lot of people. We did end up giving a lot of the gifts out to our seniors here at the center, along with gifts that the sorority sent. We decided that our seniors were as much angels as were the angels on the tree. So I tried to make sure that the members in the center received some of the gifts also. So it was a very nice Christmas for everyone, and thank you again for letting me do this program. I know it's a lot for everybody, but it is a community event, and it's brought a lot of, I think a lot of cohesiveness to the community, to us now, because we have kids coming in, we have grandparents bringing their grandkids in, we have school groups coming in, master gardeners, we have groups, community groups. The master gardeners did a sock drive, so it's kind of nice that we can. It's not just, this is not about the senior center, and these gifts don't have names on them. It's about somebody giving to someone else.
Okay.
And financially, we're looking at $10 per gift is what
Yes,
our average
yes,
price is?
yes, sir.
Okay.
That's the limit I try to get everybody to stay at.
Yeah.
That there's suggestions on the angel.
I was just trying to assess what 1,692 gifts would translate into.
Yes, and our wrapping party, we had 49 people show up, and we wrapped 1,692 gifts. Well, last year we had over 300 people show up, but we had 1,800 gifts. This year was a struggle. Even Councilman Hill was here to help us. He said he's never wrapping another gift.
You didn't send him a gift home with him?
No, he said he was
Okay, I
never
just wanna
wrapping
make sure
another
that-
gift ever in his life.
Well, that's
His
good.
wife sent him in her place, so, but,
That's good.
so that's our Be a Santa to a Senior program, and it was successful, and, this was our 7th year to do that, so.
Okay. Now let's review the STEM garden financials.
Yes. Okay, you have the profit and loss there. The balance sheet reflects all of our accounts together, so I didn't attach that with it. I have it as on the table and as a part of the packets if you brought your packet. But you will see that the foundation, the first one, of course, that's the DART Foundation. That's our $50,000 grant from them. Some of the other grants that are coming in, you'll see them listed, itemized. We do have individual business contributions. That $14,000 is the corporate, and the $3,426 are just individuals. I have members writing $100 checks and such and so forth. So, but we have our community campaign has raised $17,626. And that goes against our match to the DART Foundation, because the part of the agreement with the DART Foundation grant money was that we matched that $50,000 by 2018, April 2018. So we're well on our way to matching that. This does not, this account right here, this profit and loss, does not account for the Griffin, the toy run. We were the recipients of the money. I haven't picked it up yet because they still have money coming in. At the point in time of the toy run, it's $8,396. But I do have it listed on this financial worksheet, because as we roll over into this worksheet, I want to show you that money is coming in, so that, and where that money is allocated to. Because we've got different funds that are being allocated to different projects as we move through the STEM garden. Like, for instance, example, the DART Foundation, that money, that $50,000 is only to be spent on the technology center. So I am accumulating the different proposals and quotes for the monitors, the touchscreen monitors. We have the electricity already in. We have the bid on the security cameras. And we're getting the bid on building the structure to place these touchscreen panels in. Now, I do have handouts if you'd like to see them, other touchscreen panels, but we're still receiving quotes in. And I spoke with our IT department yesterday, and the guys told me that they would look at those quotes and see if they could do a little research for us also to see where we could get the better price, because they have more knowledge on processors and RAM and memory and gigabytes than I do. So I have asked them to step up and help me with that program. So that's part of where we're at on the technology center. But as you, does anybody have any questions on the profit and loss before I move on to the worksheet?
I don't think so.
Okay, worksheet. This financial worksheet, as we know, that we can only complete this project as the money comes in. And again, I'm going to start at the very, not the very first, but the butterfly garden, because that is one of the phases that is complete. As you see across there, I did a donor income, who actually is where the money's coming from, the income, and where it was spent. If you guys would like to have a different spreadsheet that would reflect different verbiage on this, I can work it up. This was just the simplest way that I thought I could present to you today. So the butterfly garden, that phase one of the life science for the next generation education STEM garden, would be the community campaign money that we had, when we first started this project was $2,500. That bought the water feature that you see out there with the fountain and the big boulders. That purchased that. And then, of course, Lantana Landscaping Company, they donated, this was a lifetime service that they donated. They did all of the irrigation, the groundwork, the landscaping, and all of the foliage, and they maintain that garden as well.
Oh.
So this was their donation. So as we complete phases, I'd like to, if with your approval, maybe do a spreadsheet like this so that you can be current on what we're working on, what money we need, and where I'm allocating the funds. If there's if there's a different way that you would like for me to present this on a different kind of spreadsheet, I'm open to suggestions. Moving on down to, I guess next would be the operational areas. The money that we had in our fundraising account was transferred last year over to pay for the landscaping. We had 3 bids out. We had Rollins, we had ProMaster, and we had Waxahachie Gate and Fence. The board approved $50,000, and you moved that money over. The bid from Rollins was $51,000. That took care of the irrigation, the cutting of the land, the pipes underneath, the retaining wall, and he is coming back to finish out with the decomposed granite around the trees and everything once we get more of the structures in. So that money was allocated for that, as well as we did receive $1,000 from the Waxahachie Foundation. So that is where that money was allocated to. Moving down to the electrical and the underground and the stations and the trim out, it was a $19,000 bid that was approved from ProMaster Electric. We have those set up to pay them in phases of work as they complete the phases of work. Now, so far, we've paid them $8,000. We still owe them for when they come out and do the trim out, and as well as hook up the stations for the touchscreen panels and put in the security cameras. So we still, in essence, owe them. We paid them $8,000, we owe them $11,000 because their bid was $19,000. Probably what we will do with the $19,000 that we have raised for the community campaign, the rest of that money will be allocated to pay the electrical.
Does anyone have a problem with that?
Okay. Moving down to the security fence. We have run into kind of a wall, if you will. I cannot put the touchscreen panels in and the fixture in. I have the money to do it, to buy them from the Dark Foundation, but I cannot complete that project or bring in ProMaster to finish their second phase of work until we have a security fence. So with that being said, that's why I'm asking the board today to see if we can allocate part of our rest of our fundraising money that we have in reserve to purchase that fence bid.
How much do we have?
$48,000 in one account and some in another.
She's talking about
It's on
our
the-
money that we've had all
I got
along.
you.
Our fundraising money, it's on the balance sheet, it's on the back of there.
That's the one we already took the 50 out
Yeah,
of.
that's our
Okay.
fundraising money that we had left over from building the fitness center.
I'm with you.
So how much is it that you're needing?
$37,010.
For the fence?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That's for to get this, that's his bid on the security fence. Randy Johnston, he won the bid, but I can't finish putting the touchscreens in until we get a security fence up. So, but we have the money for the touchscreens with the dark money. That money's sitting in our account to spend, but it's only designated to spend on the technology center itself.
Refresh my memory of what the fence construction will be.
The fence, it is, I have it right here. It is a 12-foot fence with the security, sorry. It's an 8-pointed commercial wrought iron fence, and we went with a different type of metal grade. When we got several different bids in, and they all came back with 3 different types of fencing. So, we did some, research on it, Waxahachie Automatic Gate, Randy Johnson, is it Johnston? Stun. He helped me with the, I mean, he was granted the bid anyway, but he also helped me with the research on the different types of grade of steel. Because we want to put a security fence up that somebody can come up and just bend open with a crowbar. So, that being said, that was the final, we decided to take out the automatic gates and put in the manual gates. The city engineer and I worked out a space over where we would have, the city would have access to the grounds and the properties as they gave us the property to use. So we will put in a manual gate, a sliding gate, it'll be a 14-foot gate off of the city side, so if they had to come in with a tractor or do anything, the water main is there. And as well as the AT&T, all the fiber optics and the cat lines and everything's running there. So, with permission from Michael Scott, our new city manager, he gave me the variance on putting the fence closer to the street and, maintaining that, as long as the city can have access to our learning facility.
Okay, so how are you coming on grants, and what grants do you have out there?
That is on your next sheet over. You should have a sheet behind that. This is our new program that we have. It's called Donation. It's a track guide. And as money comes in, this gives you our total here at the top, and the percentage of where we're at right now is like 17.3%. We still have more grants out. You'll look on the back here. These are the grants out and pending. Most of the grants that we sent out in August are now will be granted in January. Like we just called Toyota and they said, well, we won't know. You won't know till January or February. A lot of the money, all of the grants that we sent out in the fall will not be allocated. We did get a word back from the Mavericks. They gave all their money to Dallas, and they said we had a great project, and they believed in it, but their money goes really to Dallas County. I just kind of stepped out on a limb to do that. We just have been Subaru. We've gotten on with their website, but we can't file until April for Subaru. But they allocate a lot of money. The one good thing about this STEM project that we're working, our learning facility, is that we focus on a lot of the programs that we will be teaching throughout the science and technology and the engineering and the math. Is we're working with young women and their groups, the Girl Scouts, some of the Boys and Girls Club. They have the Imagine group at high school. Some of these that are focusing, some of the programs that we have specifically for our young women, their grant money is there because now more than ever, with everything that's going on in the media, they agree that young women are being left out of these fields, and money is being allocated. Grant money is being allocated. So never before would we have ever had a better time to go out and write grants and ask for funding.
Let me understand. So with the fence, you can install the panels,
Yes.
and with the panels, you can begin to use the facility.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will sit just like we are.
No, we've already started teaching. We started teaching last
So you
September
are teaching
and October.
in existing?
Yes, we utilize the garden beds, and we've already had the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club out in September and October. And we had a shadow box garden class, and due to their scheduling, not ours, they opted to reschedule in the spring.
Now, I'm going to ask something very obvious. I'm going to assume that since you're presenting this is the most critical use of the reserve money you feel that we have.
It is because we are at a crossroads of, we can start at spring break with our field trips from the schools. Northside Elementary is our pilot school. And Jennifer Burns is the principal. She is ready, and I've met with the superintendent. He's ready. He said he'll give me buses to bus the kids out. He's all excited about the fact that they can actually go to have a field trip, that they don't have to go to Dallas or they don't have to go out of the city. This is the downtime, less gas, less expenses, and they can come through. And again, we're focusing, every area that we have is STEM-based education.
Oh, I fully agree, but, as I look at this, my only challenge with the thought on it is, we've got $48,000 over here that was sent for the center,
Yes,
and that's been over years.
yes.
And when does the STEM garden become a competing facility to the senior center activity? That's when I'm sitting here balancing, I'm going, Jeannie's telling me I wanna use this money for the STEM, but the STEM is really an initiative which is tied to the center, but not
Well, our seniors,
the full center.
no, that's not true, because the seniors will man the learning center.
Okay, well,
This
that's a
is- yeah.
clarity
Yes, yes.
that I'm trying to get as to how the.
This learning, the whole name is the next generation.
So you look at this and say, I will be teaching school children in our community, and I will be teaching and using seniors as instructors and teachers.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and that's a very positive thing.
It's an intergenerational.
Everybody here in the senior center is gonna go, oh man, that's a positive thing.
We've had some sign up to volunteer. We've got engineers, we have teachers, we have retired teachers, we have bankers, we have, Triumph was here for a walkthrough with United Way, and they already said they would like to come back and help with the engineering teaching. We contacted Triumph with a letter of interest and asked them for $35,000 for their solar panel tree, because they're in Red Oak. But, no, this is for the seniors to interact with our children. I mean, not only can our seniors teach the youth, they, just like our gardeners, they're all excited about, well, yeah, when they were here this summer, I was in the garden with them, and I gave them a little piece of okra, and I said, try it where it's not fried, like you get through Chicken Express. They loved it. They ate raw okra. So now, you know, I mean, it's like, there's something, none of them had ever had a piece of raw vegetables. So this is what I'm trying to incorporate, is that we have all this knowledge. My seniors have all this time. And a lot of them, their grandchildren have moved away, or their children are grown, and they don't have grandchildren. And, you know, I mean, they can come and they can work out and they can play bingo and they can do all kinds of things here. But when we have school groups come in, that does enlighten their lives. We have little programs throughout the year, and it does enlighten their lives. And that's why I with this extra land and this project, that I thought it would be great for our seniors to give back. A lot of these kids are single parent. They have single parent homes. They go home, they have dinner, they do their homework, and mom's worked all day, and they don't have a lot of one-on-one time. We found that with the Salvation Army, the Boys and Girls group. These kids are starving for attention. Even if it's to tell them about a butterfly flying around out there in the garden. Our life science area is open and we can teach there. Our garden is open and we can teach there. This will not keep us from teaching. This will enhance our teaching methods.
You know, Jenny, if you don't mind me saying so, as a member who comes out here 3-4 times a week, probably something like that, to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, to me, we're losing so many members. Now, I would like to know how many we had, let's just say, well, we're not too far into this year, so let's just say in the last 6 months
Right.
compared to today. To me, by us coming out here, we go to ourselves, to Dinah, we go, well, Dinah so-and-so hadn't been out. Yeah, you're right, I don't remember them being out here.
Right.
So my question is, and I know you have this information, how many have we lost?
When the dues went up, we lost
Okay.
about 200 members.
200 members.
When the dues went up. I had just, in last week, we've had 10 new members join in the last week. Because a lot of the people don't understand that our year starts October 1. They think our year starts January 1. So usually we have an influx. We've got kids buying certificates for their parents, but you can talk to Diane. she's done more orientation in the last 3 weeks than she did in
So,
October.
so what you're telling me is that it's beginning to pick up.
It is beginning to
That's,
pick up.
that's what you're telling me.
But because of the dues, one gentleman walked away.
I understand it.
He said, I can't pay $145, I can go to
You
the
remember I
lowest
went
gym
to
and
the
pay
board,
60.
the city council with you and fought this
So,
thing.
you know,
Well,
we've lost a lot of our
Yeah,
out-of-town
that's
membership.
what I thought. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna bring up, and this is just a thought on my end, I don't know, John, you're gonna be able to answer this more than anybody in here. I don't know how many of y'all have read today's Daily Light or not.
I just glanced at it.
Just glad that. Well, what was shocking to me is now they're talking about a big shopping center right off of 35E coming south, county corner across from the Civic Center. Now, according to the paper, we're talking about a big shopping center with, what's that service station? Busy Bee, busy.
Buckets.
Thank you.
Hey, I finally get to go to one.
And that's on the headlines of the paper today. Bucky's is, Bucky's is big. That's gonna take
It's
a
a
lot of land.
destination.
Now, John, you might, tell us a little bit about that. I'm looking at the future of how much growth might happen here, and now the paper's saying how much we're gonna grow. And I'm sure we are. But what can you tell us about that, John?
I have very little information on that.
Okay.
I know that there have been different corporations shopping that area, and we all were anticipating growth in that direction with the new high school being built there, and it looks like, that those things are coming to fruition. Now, whether or not this shopping center is just shopping us and just looking for information and maybe, looking preliminary, or if they have actually signed some sort of agreements, made purchases, I don't have those details.
Okay, good enough.
I mean, I look for the senior
Have you
center
read the
to
paper?
grow, I've not. I'm
We'll
sorry.
read it when you get.
But I think it's great. I mean, the more people that move in, I mean, we have people stopping in all the time. Their kids bring their parents.
Well, there's no
The
question.
one wonderful thing that has helped us more than anything, and I will tell you, and Mike and I were just talking about that, a lot of our members are seeking out new doctors in the facility, in the community as they come in, is Baylor Scott and White. As their therapy department, as the members there going through rehab are coming out of rehab, they're sending them here. Because, again, for a city membership, it's cheaper to
Sure,
come
I
here.
understand.
Plus, we have the equipment that they need, they're walking right out of there into the equipment that they have there, we have here. Most of it, we have. So that's helping increase our membership. We've got a wonderful working relationship with Baylor Scott and White, the hospital. We have some cardiologists that are scheduled to come in. Our Heart Healthy Month starts in March. Got to get back in touch with them and make sure we kind of fell through the cracks over the holidays. But that's something that we look forward to again to as we hold these community health and wellness workshops and seminars and expos. We will have a better face in the community, a better voice.
I noticed where the new nursing home, I guess it is, there's a lot of people going out there for rehab.
Yes, let you know.
So that's, yeah.
But that's in home, that's in stay, that's a rehab stay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
Let me just
Hang on a
mention
second.
one thing too, that you may, I don't know if you caught that, but last night at the council meeting, we approved a resolution, which is part of a process, for another senior apartment division. It'll be out off 287, close to the water towers out
Gotcha,
there.
gotcha.
This is something that had come up once before, and they are trying to get approval from the state and, of course, some money from the state. And they didn't get it last year, but they came back this year, and they're actually in a much better position this year, I think, because they have a new location that already has the infrastructure available. The original place they were looking at, I mean, there was no water, there was no sewer, it was gonna be really expensive to develop. But if they get this grant from the state, that will be a fairly good size. John and I were just trying to remember how many apartments it would have, but it will be senior apartments, at least, you'd have to be over 50 to live there.
And all of those new houses that's being built in that area
Yeah.
too is,
Yeah, but this will be limited to seniors who would be potential members out here. So that's, there's a lot of ifs involved in that, but it would be very nice if it happens.
yeah.
Patty, if I may reply to what Mike was asking about. I've been, all my adult life, and even as a kid, I was involved in nonprofit situations. When you have fundraising and your fundraising is successful in that you meet or surpass your goal, if there is surplus money that is set aside, normally it's the wisdom of the board that allows that money to be used for purposes other than it may have originally arrived to serve. The fact that we have worked for many, many years to generate a surplus like this, we certainly have a project that is a project which is going to keep the Waxahachie Senior Center on the map. And I personally don't have any problem with the concept that if we're going to proceed with this project, we need the fence.
We need a what?
We
The
need
fence.
to
The security.
secure the fence, to secure the project.
Okay, here's the question, that, on these grants though that were sent, have you sent out grants specifically for the fence to people? Have you
No.
asked specifically for the fence?
There's a few companies that ask, you have to ask for a specific, like, say Waxahachie Foundation, when we asked for them, they helped us with the fan and the exercise room. That was a specific need that we had, and we asked for that, and they helped us with that $5,000 fan. Most of these grant applications that you fill in, you don't have a specific need, you just have, they have a cap that you ask for the money. And it's just like with Triumph, we're asking $36,000 for the Smart Flower because that's what it costs. But if someone else came up and stepped up and paid for the Smart Flower, and then, so we'd have to go back to them and say, okay, well, we need to build the soil conservation trailers, would you be willing for us to allocate that money? It's just like I did with the DART Foundation. They gave us $50,000, we submitted a $53,000 pavilion to them. And then I found a cheaper pavilion, so we saved that money, and I went back to them and I submitted, how about if we do this $24,000 pavilion, then I can buy the 8 touchscreen panels, put under it, complete the technology center, and it's your naming right, and they were like, yeah, save money, that's a great idea. That's when I have dialogue, I can go back to them.
Okay, I just didn't know if you'd, because I know you said like you'd asked them
Yes.
for one thing, and these,
Yes.
I didn't know if you'd asked these, and if we went ahead and gave the money
Yes.
to do it, then what happens if they say, sure, we'll do that?
And that's when we come back, but it's like, I didn't ask just one person for the sunflower.
Okay.
Because walking into Dallas County and asking for money is a long shot. Because there's millions of people that are nonprofit that have their hands out for Dallas County. Just because you're the Dallas Mavericks or the Stars doesn't mean that Mr. Hicks is gonna write me a check because we're in Waxahachie, Texas.
Right.
So,
Okay, on the DART grant that we got,
yes,
$50,000,
yes.
only if we raise another $50,000.
No, they gave us the money, we have the money in the bank. The stipulation is that we raise the matching 50,000, and that's why we started the community campaign.
But we only have 17 of that, and we have to have it done by April?
April the 18th, if we don't have it finished by April the 18th, and if you'll, last board's minutes, they will help us raise the money. It's in the last minutes from the last meeting. I gave y'all the information that DART said, if we don't have it by April the 18th, they will help us raise the money. There's ways that they believe in this project, they want it to be successful. And I have dialogue with them every month. I send them invoices, I send them pictures, I sent them a frame of our grand opening picture. Tracy and she knows exactly the difference on the different touchscreen panels. I just sent her last week the information that I was going to go to the IT department of the city.
Well, how much they've given us, they need that information.
Yes.
It's good that you're doing
And
that.
it is, and that's.
To let them know where it's going.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a
They received a spreadsheet just like this for the technology
That's
center.
good.
As long as.
Jeannie, I think you've sold your fence. Get a motion.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure y'all understand that.
We understand.
I will never do anything to jeopardize this senior center or its members.
Well, that's, I just want a conscious answer, which you gave me.
So
That's
Lee,
what I
are you
need.
making a
I
motion?
would move that we allocate 37,000 and change,
$10.
$37,010 from our reserve funds to go ahead and proceed with the security fence construction so that the project may continue.
How much do we have? Set aside?
48.
You got 48,000, and you're asking for how much?
$37,010.
That's just out of, we have 60,000 in another thing.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
that's
another
just in the,
building
in that
fund
one
money,
fund,
yeah,
but
we
yeah,
have.
but yeah.
Yeah.
That money, we're not gonna touch.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
And if you're warm enough and you'd like to take a tour, the pavilion is ready to tour, and it's magnificent.
Looks good from the doorway.
Okay, so is there anything else on the STEM garden?
I wanna see it when the panels are up and the fence is up.
We have a pilot class scheduled to start spring break.
Spring break, okay. Okay, then, next on the agenda is public comments. Did we have somebody?
Me.
Okay.
First of all, when Jeannie first proposed that STEM garden to the seniors, she said no money would be used from the seniors to allocate toward the STEM garden. But in this month's newsletter, it said, we want to thank the Greifens for their generous donation of $8,378 to the Waxahachie Senior Center. All proceeds will be allocated to the STEM garden. Now that is not right, because she told us no money would be taken from the senior center to fund that STEM garden, and we oppose that.
Well, that was their wishes.
It doesn't say that, Jeannie.
Well,
It says it went to the senior center, but every other year, when they donated funds, it came to the senior center, and it was used for scholarships and whatever other expenses the senior center had. This year, because of the STEM garden, we're losing that money, and there's all these people that live on fixed incomes, and they can use that money more than a senior center. Or they can use the money more than that STEM garden. And I object to that. And I've been a member of the senior center for 20 years, and I think the STEM garden is taking over what is initially made to be a senior center, and we're very, very objective to that. And I don't think that's right. I think that STEM garden should have been built on school property. We come down here because we like the senior environment, everybody is the same age. Now we're gonna have all these kids drifting in at all hours of the day. You've got people who walk with walkers, people who walk with canes. You've got senior citizens who their reflexes aren't as good, will be driving through there, and you've got all these kids here. This is not what this center was built for. And you're going in a wrong direction. And I, for one, if it becomes overrun with kids, I'll belong for 20 years, I will quit. That's the opinion of a lot of the seniors. So you're going to be losing more seniors because you're concentrating on a STEM garden, which most of us couldn't care less about. It should have been on school property, not in a senior environment.
What is your name, ma'am?
My name's Pat Lonzo.
Lonzo?
Yes. And we were also told that no kids will be coming in from the garden to use our bathrooms. Well, you're going to have kids out there with dirty hands and they have to go to the pot. You know they're going to be coming in here. They're going to have muddy shoes, wet shoes. They're going to make the floor slippery, and then people walking with walkers. So this is not the facility where that STEM garden should be. And we were not approached before it started. We were told after the fact. And then another thing, the buses we're told are going to bring the kids down. Well, our taxes pay for buses. So that's another expense taken from the seniors. I don't think that it was studied right. This is not the place for that STEM garden. And most of the kids nowadays don't care where their vegetables come from. They come from HEB. They'd rather be playing a video game. I mean, I plant the garden every year. The kids wouldn't care less when they come over to visit. They wouldn't even pull weed. So I think that this is just going in the wrong direction. Okay, then I play bunco. And this is another thing. About a year ago, Jeannie announced the senior center can't buy your prizes anymore. Well, that's okay. We just get them from the dollar store where we pitch in $1. Well, here was $8,365 that was taken from the senior center.
Pat, when the donor says spend the money here, that's what we have an obligation to
Well,
do.
this is here. This was here before the STEM garden.
I understand, but donors can specifically say, we would like the money to go toward
Okay,
whatever
it
it
says
is.
here, for their generous donation to the Waxahachie Senior Center.
Well,
Yeah, this is the senior center.
that is correct. But if it's earmarked for the STEM garden, then that's what happens.
Well, that's it. That's all we're getting told. We didn't even get a chance to vote on whether we wanted them to have the money.
Well,
Other years, it went for scholarships and it went for programs here. But whenever we have to do without to fund the STEM garden, then this senior center's going in the wrong direction.
well, I do know on the scholarship topic, this board has worked with Jeannie to make sure that money is available for her to use in her scholarship program.
No one's been turned down.
I don't think they've been turned down, that this is additional
Well-
$8,000 that could go into the treasury.
Well, the point is that we have not reduced the scholarship budget to zero. We have,
I understand you haven't reduced it, but this is extra money could go in
well,
reserve.
the scholarship budget is based on need. So when a donor wants the money that they're giving to the nonprofit agency, which we are, for their tax deduction, if they want it to go for some specific purpose, we must honor that.
But you're still losing the focus. This is what the purpose was. Every other year they came here. The
Well-
money came to the center.
Every 4 years.
Well, still yet, it didn't go to another outside program. It came to the center. That's what this was built for. This was built to service the seniors here. And we come down here because we're all in the same age group. Now we're gonna have to tolerate with kids being out there on their field trips. And the kids, the only reason they'll be enthused about it is because they get out of class.
I think it's probably too late to change things. We've already stepped forward with this and the money, et
But were
cetera,
other
et cetera.
venues looked at, Ray? That's my point. No other venue was looked at.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Probably had we had, to do this over again, we probably would have sent this out for a vote to all the members.
Yes, that's my
Now,
point
that's
there,
what
too.
this board is for.
Yes.
We're the ones that's supposed to make this type of decision, and we made that. Now, after more comments and all, it could be that maybe it should have been put out to all the members.
Yes, and I
But
guarantee it would be
we're too
voted
far
down.
along, we're going forward with it. In
Well,
essence,
I can
that's-
see
that's
that, you've
what-
got too much money
I-
invested in it now. But
well,
the point
yeah,
is, don't
that's
you
my
think,
point.
I understand your point, but don't you think we come here because if there's a senior population, we don't wanna be around a bunch of kids running around and screaming. Now we're gonna have to tolerate that.
But I think,
I will not argue with that.
I have heard that there are people though that are wanting to be around the kids and to teach that.
Well, I don't know,
So
there's
I
probably
guess
at a
there
minimum.
might could be half and half want it, half don't, but that was under our impression
Well,
that.
everybody I
But the
talked
people,
to said
that
if
there are
they would've
seniors here
known.
that want to help teach the kids, and they want the kids here and they want to volunteer doing the work out there.
You are the first opposition I've come against.
Well, I've talked to other people, they didn't see this until
Well,
I
we
told
have
them
these
about it on the
we have
newsletter.
these meetings and they're.
Nobody knew it was on there until I called their attention. They open it up and they just look at the lunch menu and that's it.
I can't make you read it.
Huh?
I can't make it.
I know, they didn't know some of it, it's hidden way on the back page.
The city posts that we have these meetings, and they have to be public.
Yeah.
So it's, every time public comments are on here and it's open to the public. And we have had people come in here and offer their comments about different issues that they've had with the senior center. So that's open at every meeting, and we've had no one oppose until today
And
about
the
the STEM
STEM
garden.
garden has been in the newsletter since
I know
late
that.
last year.
I understand
And
that.
it was brought up.
Most people didn't know what it
brought up.
was.
And it was discussed and it was brought up.
Well, I think,
But that's
I
why
don't
we
think
have a-
that this is the place
This is
for
an
it.
enclosed learning facility. The kids are not going to be in the building.
All right, mark my word, if they're in there, I'm gonna call it to your attention.
Well, when we have special events here, we have kids in the building. No one complains.
I'm
about
talking
that.
about your STEM garden kids. I said, will they be coming in there and using those bathrooms? And with wet feet and muddy feet, you've got people walking in the hallways with walkers and canes.
I
And if it
understand.
becomes slippery, you're gonna get a lawsuit, I'm telling you.
Well, it's not, I mean, I'm not here
It's
to argue. the
creating
point
a
with you.
dangerous environment, is what I'm trying to say. These seniors, some of them are feeble, probably shouldn't drive because their reflexes are bad. And if they lose control of a car, you've got those kids out there running around. This was not the place for it.
It is an enclosed environment, that's why we just voted on the fence. They get off the bus, they go into an area, they are supervised with our seniors in every area. When they're through, they get on the bus and they go back to school.
Are you gonna provide bathrooms over there?
No, ma'am.
Well, see, that just proves my point. You know kids are gonna be wanting to go to the bathroom and wash their hands and whatever else.
Well, I mean, John, we can always have an alternative to that, right?
We certainly can.
Sure.
We can certainly devise a plan where the children aren't here that long.
I
You know,
don't
we
care
can-
how long, they shouldn't be here at all. This is a senior center, that's my
Well,
point.
I have to tell you, Pat, I've talked to a lot of people about this project, and they're all excited about it, and they're happy that it's here.
Well, they
So
probably weren't the
obviously
members
there
that
are-
I've talked to.
Well, there are obviously two sides to the question, and,
This was just not the venue that it should have been put, that's my point. This is a
Okay,
senior
well-
center, it was built for seniors, we're all in the same age bracket, and now you're bringing something in that is totally on the opposite side of the spectrum.
It was built for the seniors, so
Yes.
they could go and interact with the children.
No, that's the first time I've heard that. I
Well,
belong to
It's,
the,
it's,
That's,
you're talking about the STEM garden, I'm
It's
talking
been-
about the facility itself.
Man, it may not have been talked about in length in the newsletter, it may not have been talked in length to the members themselves, but it's been discussed here for the last 2 years. in
You're talking about
great
the STEM
detail.
garden with the kids. I don't
And
care, I don't want to
these-
interact with the kids, I come
Well,
down
no,
here for a
well, you
quiet
should
day.
interact with the kids, but, you know, you have the opportunity every month to come interact with this board and this staff and
Well, I
discuss these
just came
issues.
because I saw where our money went to something else that it shouldn't have been. Every other time that they've
Well-
donated, that money came to the senior center.
That's why it's important to come to these meetings, because financials and these topics are discussed at this meeting. We put these chairs out every month, and we used to put
I asked the
50
people from
chairs out.
Bucko to come.
And we-
Everybody that I've talked to,
we've
Phil,
invited-
they didn't see that either.
We've invited the members from day one. We used to set up in the grand meeting room, or the grand
Yes,
hall
I've
in there.
been
We used to
there
put 50
before.
chairs out, and no one ever came.
No.
We still put 14 chairs out here.
Well,
And-
I've heard
and
the
we-
Dunaway School
we
has a garden
appreciate-
on their property. And why couldn't this be put on school property when you've got so many schools and so much property around? And why it was elected to be put here is beyond me.
it's for the seniors.
Well, I don't think that was the reason.
Well, that's what's been discussed over the last 2 years.
That's been
and-
our
and we
mission
really do
statement.
need
It's
I
to-
don't know of any seniors that are gonna work with them, to tell the truth.
Okay,
Well,
okay, let's
I
stop
This-
this.
That's the kind of input we need, and hopefully input
Well,
like that will continue at these
I tell you,
meetings.
if there's kids running around here, I won't be a member much longer.
Thank you, ma'am,
Thank
we
you for your
appreciate it.
input. Don't forget your
Take your
jacket.
jacket.
Ma'am, I kind of agree with you on some of this, and I know it's public comment, so I'll offer this now. As someone who tends to be one of the biggest naysayers in the city on a lot of other things, I hear what you're saying. I tend to agree with it. However, one of the things that I have also learned is that regardless what I think about what's going on, it's not going anywhere.
I see that.
There's a lot of things that we can't stop, but they are right on another thing, is that these meetings happen all the time. That's one reason. This is the first time I've been to one of these.
Well, what prompted it was
And-
that our money didn't come here, it's going to the STEM garden.
Right.
That was prompted my appearance.
Right, and what I would encourage you guys to do is maybe you can work with them on making sure that there is a bathroom out there. Maybe it might not happen immediately, but if they've already got a grant funding mechanism in place where money's coming in for stuff, your voice could be very important in making sure that happens to maintain that separation.
Well, it
Between
shouldn't
the
come here
cities,
to
so-
begin with. It should
But-
have never been here.
Encourage people to attend the meetings from now on.
I'm sorry, I hadn't met her.
Amy, for the record, I know it's public comments, Amy Hedke, 106 Vanderbilt. We've been doing just kind of trying to get the word out about city meetings and boards and get residents more involved and educated about what's going on in their community. So,
Well, you spell
This
your
wasn't a
last
good time for you
Will
to
you
come.
spell your last name?
Well, I know, actually, I would love to give you information on the STEM garden, because then that
yeah,
you'll understand.
and I would love to take you up on your offer to do a tour afterwards if you want, if you're okay with doing kind of a live stream educational thing. But
Sure, I'm always here to promote the seniors and the senior center.
yeah, and I've kind of stepped into just kind of an informational, informal role, but
Jenny, you do a marvelous job of balancing many voices. This is just one more voice that's got to be balanced out, and
Well,
you know, her complaint is not unreasonable,
I know.
but it is contrary to what we've heard over the last
I,
2 years.
Yeah.
So, and one of my questions was, when do you look at this situation and say we're taking away from the center?
exactly,
She just gave us an example of when the perception from one individual is that the center is losing because of the STEM guard.
Right.
We've got to figure out how to make that, make it obvious that they're not losing.
I think
And it is a game.
What she thought
once we did
the
it,
center was losing was scholarship money from a specific gift that
Right.
had been
Correct,
used for that.
I understand
but-
that, and it
But
went to the right place.
I think once they see that we have a security fence, and they see these pilot little classes that we do, and they see the other seniors out there working as, in the different areas, this is a passport to learning, not only for the children, but the seniors. So I think once we have the structure in place, they will
And we
understand.
may need to add a bathroom at some point out there for children. I don't know, but we'll see how
I
that
can
works.
live with that.
When we have the large classes coming through, we can certainly set up portable restrooms, we can hand wash stations, we can make
But
arrangements.
she has the worst of fears.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so,
They're
and
upset because they
chances
didn't
are the
get
worst of
money
fears
because
aren't
they
going
want
to
a new
occur.
TV and they
But
want
we
a
should
new
be aware of
couch
them.
and they want a
We do
new-
listen and we will try to alleviate
Yeah.
that.
It's like the Griffins, I asked them, what do you want me to do with the money when they presented, when I had the big check in my hand and they said, what's your next project? And I said, I'm building
It is
a
a-
learning
It is a
facility.
testimony to you, Jeannie, that this room is not filled up with individuals with concerns on a routine basis. You know, it really, you do a great job.
Wow.
If they do need those things, why are we, are
We
they
don't.
not just bring them?
We
Okay,
don't.
so she's just,
I've
we
said,
don't need a new couch or anything.
we don't need them. And that's one thing we've always done. We've always raised every penny to fund the projects that we have. That's why I've tried to put this in the newsletter every month. That corner is there on that back page. Whether they read it or not is not my fault. We've had posters up with the layout. We've had handouts. We've got community information.
The only thing I'm sitting here thinking about is probably what we should have done, and you can answer this. Should we not have put this up to a vote with the members?
No.
What's y'all's opinion of this?
No, I don't.
No,
think so.
y'all
late now
y'all
anyway.
I know it's too
represent
late.
the
It's-
opinion of the
it's over
members.
with.
That's
Done.
y'all's job. Y'all are the voting.
It's-
If y'all want to get the opinion, then y'all should go out
Well,
amongst yourselves.
Whichever service we approve here,
Yeah.
we normally don't have votes of the members
Anyway.
on whether
But
the
like-
service
like
comes or not.
25 of them
It
wanted
hasn't
the
occurred
putting
to me.
green. They wanted
Yeah.
a $20,000 putting green. That's what they're wanting.
Nobody
They want
did-
that putting green. But we could have used that money for the putting green one.
Not
Before-
for 25
I am
people.
sure there's someone who does not like all the exercise equipment here, because I want to play bunco.
Right.
Okay,
They
so
wanna play
that's
waffle
the
ball.
balance
They
you
want me to
have,
get
Judy.
waffle ball equipment, and that's too
And
dangerous.
the Texas Hold'em folks don't want to
Oh,
play
no.
bunco either.
Texas Hold'em.
So,
Yeah.
You've got many audiences.
I'm always open.
You do a great job of working with all of them. Thank you.
We have open records. I've always told everyone that we have raised the money for these projects. And members have stepped up and written checks to the STEM program. So in my mind, this is my first opposition.
Okay.
Okay, is there any other business?
Does anyone else have anything else? Is there a motion to
Not after
adjourn?
that? So moved.
Motion to
Okay.
adjourn. Second.
Have y'all brought up about Joe Jenkins and his wife? Has that
No.
been
I
brought
talked
up
to
at
Joe
all?
today. I
What
talked to him
about him?
today.
Do what?
I talked to Joe today.
You did?
Jan is in hospice care.
Yes, she
Oh.
is.
And-
She's bad.
Oh, bless.
He asked that we all keep him in his prayers. You'll see us next time.
Our church is beginning to take food over there.
Okay.
His
in
daughter
the next
called
3
me,
or 4 days.
and his daughter called me last week.
I'm sorry.
His daughter from Austin called
Will
me.
you keep,
I
They
keep in
have-
will you
contact.
keep
they have
us
6 people
informed
in the
and
house.
drop us know?
Yes,
Relatives
yes,
right
yes,
there.
yes. I
Keep
keep
us
in
posted on
So
that.
they need help with food.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right, it had a second to adjourn?
Who made the motion?
Mike. No,
Lee.
Lee.
Mike will make the second.
Okay.
All in favor? Okay, we're adjourned.
Amy,
Okay.
can you spell your last name?
HEDTKE. Head key.
Head key.
Yeah, you gotta get the D, the T, and the K all in
And
one.
again, what company or
We'll get it dated.
who you with?
They will-
I'm just
maybe
me.
that will give them some
I'm not with a
security.
company. I'm just a resident.
Can you check, I mean, do you
I
want to
envy you,
spell?
nobody ever asked to spell my name.
I know that I'm in trouble if I show up somewhere and they know not only how to pronounce it, but how to
Lee's a
spell it.
hard name to spell too.
Thank you, Lee. Okay, do you want the, hey,
Okay. And talking to the camera, I'm going to let this run live and we're gonna go tour the STEM garden area. So give us a minute to get out there.
He won't have a long lifespan with me.
I've seen this lady, I don't know, I've seen her. Is she married? Is she out? I've seen her out here. Huh?
She's been here she's been a member for 20 years.
No, I've seen
Oh,
her.
this one. Oh,
Today, I doubt that they're gonna be impressed with my
oh,
note
yeah,
taking,
Pat
but
Lonzo, she's been
Lori
here.
couldn't make
She
it,
comes
Amber
in,
was
she
tied up,
plays
so
Lonzo, and that's
they
it.
have to finally take
They think on
minutes
some
today.
So she's mostly Mac.
They may regret that, I don't know.
Yeah. They got- Well, here's the
Okay,
thing.
That'll work out
so
for me.
can our sorority just donate some
So who's doing
more
this?
prizes for Bunko?
I know you talking
If you look at every
that a
quarter, I
fundraiser?
go,
Yes,
$50
the Rotary
I
Club
buy
is doing a
$50
ski
worth of
trip.
dollars
She's
and
on
I
March
buy
the
$50
second,
worth of
really,
prizes
Friday.
for them. And
And so we need,
I told
I'm
them
gonna
one
call
time,
Michael,
you know,
we
it'd be
need
nice if you guys
city
would
representation
everybody
to come
bring
out.
a dollar prize.
12 gauge.
You know,
You don't
because
need 12 gauge.
we could use that money
20
for
gauge is
scholarship
fine.
money.
I can choose 20 gauge as well.
Or they could just,
Okay,
So,
well, this is 40.
I'm gonna take this off for a minute. Hang on a second, I'm gonna put the tripod away and go get my little handheld tripod out of the
You'll
car.
have 2 skis, and you'll shoot 8 rounds at every station. So you end up shooting 100 rounds. You'll take 100 shots.
Anybody wants to just,
Okay, well, share. But it'll be $100
I swear,
a
these are the
shooter.
best cookies you've ever had. We like it,
We would love for you to come.
And if you get time.
If you just wanna do it by
Yeah,
yourself, I'll find someone for you to, I'll find a team for you to shoot with.
by.
Are you sure you
so I can call in.
Yeah.
You sure, will you guarantee that?
Yeah. If I had to walk him around myself.
There you go.
Mike, have you seen there's a place in Denton that does skeet golf? You go to 18 different holes.
Is that right? Well, this would be the same thing as sporting club.
Skeet and golf, do you shoot the golf balls?
For the players.
Do they have throwers on each green or
They
each
have
tee box?
18 different boxes.
Yeah.
where you
Well,
shoot.
here we have
Different-
12.
rabbits, some are
We have,
slides.
same thing here, we have 12 stations that you can shoot, yeah. And it's great, it's a lot of fun.
You walk
All
in
right,
one place,
let's see if
you
we can
walk
get
in.
a tour real
Well,
quick,
we'll
or
have
if
golf
they're gonna
carts
have to
here
do that
probably,
at a different time.
To take you from station to station.
That's fine. Well, thanks for letting me know.
Have fun.
You bet.
Have a good tour.
Right?
get that scheduled.
Okay.
And I will let you know about Joe. He just called at 11 o'clock today.
Okay, good.
So-
Yeah, let's
What
keep
did he
us
say? I mean,
Said I asked him who he was, and he said, oh, I'm doing fine, but you know Joe. And his daughter said, well, you just keep them both in your prayers, because he's worried about her.
well, you sure is.
Yeah, but she's
Sure
in
is.
hospice, though.
Well, there's
But
6
she's still
people,
home?
relatives in his house.
Oh, she's not
She's,
home?
yeah.
Where is she?
Not at home. She's
Oh,
at
she's
home in
still home?
hospice.
Oh, okay, he told me she was in hospice. He didn't tell me she was at home hospice.
Well, we're taking food, well,
Okay,
That-
no, you
that's
know
my
better than I
impression,
do, because you're with them.
yeah. So anyway.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much.
Well, I'll let you know if I hear anything.
I will, thank you. Let me put this up. and
Sure.
I'll be happy to- let me-
I'm gonna go put my stuff up too.
Okay, perfect there.
All right, so we're gonna go put this stuff away and then go do a tour of the STEM garden that they were discussing during the meeting. So let me drop my tripod off and dump this Coke. I'm almost out anyway. And I know this is gonna be a little bit of a longer video, but since this was the topic of discussion, look at that. Look at what I did. Crazy. That's what I get. Okay. And okay. Dropping this in with my Rodney Ramsey signs and computer bag. My messy political card. Hang on. Alright, this is what I was getting. This little handheld thing. This is great for walking and talking. And I'm going, this is the senior center, senior activity center. Okay. Let me put my little holder on here, and that will be easier for a tour. Okay. There.
So maybe when you get old enough, maybe you can become a member.
Yeah, there you
10 or
go.
probably 20 years from now, maybe you can be a member.
We need to get you a packet, information
I
packet.
need to get you some information on that senior living that they're proposing to build.
Is it the
over on
Mariposa
side.
group, Carrington group? They already contacted me. Yeah,
That
they
was a
asked me to
house.
write a letter.
Oh, good, a support? Yeah, because they're looking to get that grant and they need all the support they can. And that's why they needed a resolution from city council.
Okay. Well, they contacted me and asked me for a letter, and then they also said they'd like to be part of the STEM garden.
There's,
Are they still building on Macon Street?
no. Well, where's Megan Street?
Behind the Showbiz Pizza, behind the
No, they're
Showbiz
moving
Pizza.
across the highway over next to the River Oak subdivision, under that water tower that's across the street from the sports complex.
The lady that I talked to was
That's what
at the
it's
city council, blonde, pretty blonde, but she was on her way back to Austin, and she stopped here, and she said that somebody at City Hall told her she needed to talk to them.
Probably was done.
So she came, I gave her a tour and told her about the STEM garden, and she said, oh, we'd like to be part of that project.
Well, I hope they are successful, because they look like a very quality
We
facility.
need it, we need senior apartments, we
Yes,
need
we
some
do.
senior living, desperately.
Somewhere I can go and Susie kicks me.
Thank you for taking
Yeah,
minutes
you're
for
welcome.
me. I
Oh,
appreciate
no, I'm gonna go get this to Amber right now.
it. Okay,
Y'all have
you
a
need
good
a
day.
copy of that hand, well, they didn't look at it, so.
No.
It was just.
Okay, well, y'all take care. Bye, Dad.
Okay, so we are still waiting to go do a tour of the STEM garden that they've put in at the senior center. It was discussed in the meeting that we just streamed, so we're just this is a continuation of that.
I don't think, we can go over this.
Books. Not my kind of books.
Okay, young lady, this is information
Hello.
overload for the senior center. We'll start
Excellent.
out here.
All right.
I'm Jeannie.
Jeannie, I'm
sorry,
Amy.
Amy.
And say hi to Facebook, because we're going to do this as part of the meeting.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
All right.
It's all right. You're doing fine. You're doing great.
This is our fitness areas. When I started in 2010, we only had this one area. And we have special equipment in here for members that are coming out of rehab. We have lower treadmills, as you can see. This is for our members that have long legs. So we have a member that's 6'7", so he can't ride these bikes.
Wow.
So we try to accommodate with that.
Nice.
A lot of the equipment that you see in here, like this equipment here, this little chair just pushes off of this, and this is an upper body exerciser. So for our members that are in wheelchairs or walkers, if they can have a better access to equipment that keeps their upper body strength going for them.
Cool.
The packet that I just handed to you, you'll see our mission statement. The physical, emotional, and mental welfare,
Right.
Nutritional. That pretty much is, this covers our physical. We try to make sure.
about mental? You like
Well, mental is for me.
I slipped.
Mental is for me. That's our Parkinson's and Alzheimer's support group. That's for me. I learned more in those two support groups than anybody would ever imagine, because what you can do now to prepare for as you age is knowledge is power. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of. Hi, sweet girl. Again, you see, this is our second phase. This room was designed to be a little bit having wider spaces, because you can see that if you have in your wheelchair or like we have one of our members is an amputee. So this is our life cycle and what our TheraCycle. What it is that she can still use this. This works on hydraulics, so you just program it and it works your legs for you.
Cool.
Some of our members are sedentary or in a wheelchair. This is a titanium gym that we built. The man that designed it is in a wheelchair, and so we have that here. Again, some of the equipment in here, just like this is a chiropractor's bench, but we don't have a chiropractor massage, but we do have members that need to stretch before,
Right.
or they'll come in with their caregiver, and they need a little bit more room to work out. So that's kind of what this is a low impact. We raised the
That makes
money for the
sense.
new gym. I'm very proud of it. It's more of a high impact. The age to join here is 50, and our oldest member is 105. So we have the gambit. When I
Wow.
talk about generations, I'm very serious about that, because we run from age 50. We have grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents. So it's kind of fun out here that we have that generation span. But again, these run on hydraulics. Some of them do. Some of them are based for therapy coming out of neck or not neck, but shoulder and replacement, knee replacement. As you look here on the south side of the building, we have a little pavilion here that starts our walking trail. If you go all the way around and back through the garden and the park area, it's a half mile. So for those that like to get out and get some sunshine and fresh air, and on the weekends when the building's closed, or in the early morning or in the afternoon, this is a great place, because it's a secured place, and you know, they can walk and get some fresh air. A lot of the residents that live next door, they bring their little dogs over and walk. We have little poopy bags so they can scoop their stuff.
Excellent. So yeah, Waxahachie Senior Center.
You know,
We just came out of
This is kind of our little common area, if you will, and our multi-purpose room. We have Zumba, yoga, line dance, healthy bones. We have Tai Chi. We have chair yoga. We have stretch and flex. most everything that you see on our daily calendar, this is our gym area that we do that. We do have a community dance like Valentine's. It's open to the community, and we'll have crown our new king and queen. That's Wednesday, February 14th. So that room becomes a dance floor, and this room we open the air wall and it becomes a big room, banquet room,
Right.
where we can have community events. This is our lunchroom. We play bingo 3 days a week. We play Texas Hold'em 5 days a week, and it also is our lunchroom. We have several different lunch programs where we can accommodate anywhere from, we average 50 meals a day to 150. Depends on what special events that we have going on. Sometimes we have our birthday lunch, and that's anywhere from 100 to 150 people that we serve. We like to make sure that if your birthday, say, is in February, you come on the first Tuesday and we have a baked potato and a salad bar. One of our members makes a cake and we celebrate everybody's birthday. That's one thing I don't like is Christmas and birthdays to be alone. As you heard in the meeting, our Be a Santa to a Senior program, successful again this year. We delivered over 1,600 kids.
1692, was that it?
1692.
See, every once in a while I pay attention.
It was a community effort, and it was a wonderful one, and it has nothing to do with the senior center. Lots of people were involved in this. Now, hey, come on in. This is our high impact area. Now, this is Dr. Lee.
Hi, guys.
He teaches our stretch and flex
Hi.
class.
Hi, how are you?
And,
This is my wife, Kay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Without them, I mean, this class is so popular. How many people do you have? 40 people? Or more?
Well, during the busy time, we had up to 45.
Yes,
We're about
yes.
25 back up now. Of
Yes.
course, it's Christmas, everybody.
They'll be back.
Right.
They'll be back working
They'll
off
be
all
back.
those pies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, do you guys want to say hi to Facebook?
She's doing a tour of the
Okay.
center and
So we're kind of doing a Facebook tour. So this is their look at this. All the way down.
He's about the pretty side.
Right?
And she's a beauty. Yes, she is.
Awesome.
Brains and beauty. There you go.
And that's David Nick.
Yes.
Hi, David Nick.
I'm the number
Yes.
one location fan.
Yeah.
Besides them.
Yes.
On the move.
And many years ago, Mr. Nix and I did our senior proms together out here.
We did about 2 or 3 years.
Yes, we did. We had so much fun.
Is it still going on?
No,
Yeah, a lot of things quit.
Well, you know.
A lot of traditions is not tradition anymore.
You know, sponsorship
That
money
was
and
fun.
stuff.
And the kids enjoy it.
I know.
We
Well,
enjoy
that's
it.
okay. I have a new program where the kids are coming back. I've
Okay,
never
good.
forgotten the kids. They'll be back. I promise you.
I don't even know who the sponsor is now.
I
Miss
know.
Axel left.
Yeah, I know it.
I don't know.
Are you going to be a teacher here? Or are you gonna,
No, I am. We have been going around kind of recording the meetings, the public
okay.
city meetings and council meetings and stuff like that. And so they had the Senior Center Advisory Committee meeting, and so I showed up to stream the meeting, and she was talking about the thing, and she invited them to do a tour, and I was like, I'll take you up on that. So
This is a magnificent facility, and just like with the STEM Guards project that we're doing, everything that I have implemented since I've been here has been for the seniors. I don't need this exercise room because I don't have to work out.
Yeah.
But my seniors, to stay healthy and to stay heart healthy and to rehabilitate knee replacements and shoulder. If you're heart healthy, you'll be healthy. You know, and this is our high impact. We raised almost half of the money. It was a $250,000 project. The city told me if I could meet half, they would meet me halfway, and we did. And it's just like anything that we do out here. We try not to ask the city for money because there's other things that we know that the city needs. If it's a project that I believe in, my members and I will build it.
yeah,
Along
and
with the community.
you know what? People, hang on. Okay, are you hearing this? If you need it, you can get the community to kick in. So y'all need to go talk to this chick about how to get stuff done in the community without relying on the city to handle the bulk of your stuff, okay? Major deal.
Absolutely. I mean, Waxahachie is a wonderful community, and I have never not seen this community rally together to not ensure the growth of this community.
You know what? And that's what I've been trying to tell people. I mean, there were a lot of us that voted against the school bond. But at the same time, I'm telling people, if you need a school, you can put together an organization that can pursue a capital fundraising project, raise it, because the school can't do that, but an organization can. They can raise the money, donate it to the school, get the school built.
I write grants. I'm writing a grant every day. And because of the fact that the city has given us this facility,
Right.
and I thank God this was a patio. We
Yeah.
enclosed it.
Yeah, but you knew what you were raising money for.
Right.
Right.
And when we know that it benefits the seniors, there's nothing I wouldn't do out here that wouldn't benefit my seniors.
Right.
You know, having the children here, and Mr. Nix will attest to the fact that they bring a breath of fresh air to a generation
Yeah,
that is
I remember doing
lost.
Meals on Wheels with my kids, and you know, they had a blast.
Yeah.
Both, you know.
It's a growth experience for both. Whether some are just like, no, I don't. It's like, okay, don't go to the garden. That's why we're putting a security fence up. It's going to have a lock gate on. But when we have a field trip of these beautiful young children that are dying for attention to come out there and eat a piece of okra or see how a tomatoes grow or know the difference between solar and wind and water power, why not? Why not? If the parks and school board won't do it, if the schools won't build it, like you said, some of the schools do have gardens, and they are on the cutting edge of trying to do
They
it.
have their own parent committee, but
Yeah.
anytime the school gets involved, then you got to be sure that they know what you're raising money for.
Yeah.
Because once
Exactly.
you raise that money, you got to send that money to the admin building.
Right.
And then off the record.
Yeah.
Then you don't know what happened. To the money.
Yeah.
But then we're accountable. You heard in the meeting.
Right.
I have a spreadsheet. I'm accountable for every penny.
Exactly.
You know, and
Once you turn it
without
over to the school board, to the financial people, you hope it goes into the same.
That's another great thing about
You
having
have
an
to be
organization.
transparent.
Yes.
I mean, without that,
Like a
without
football pusher club, something like that. You know, they raise their own money and they do their own thing. And
They have more freedom to be able to make sure the funds are spent.
But you know,
What people want to
again, without the community support, this gym would have never been built.
Right.
I did not do it. It was a community. It's just like to be a Santa to a senior program. To deliver 1,700 gifts, I could never do that. Do you
Right.
think a bunch of 70 and 80-year-olds could do that? No. It was a
Community
group
efforts,
of
yep.
the community that stepped up to want to be a part of a program that benefits people, that gives. And that's what Waxahachie is. That's what Waxahachie does. That's why everybody wants to move to Waxahachie.
You know,
What a great community.
I always tell people don't underestimate the power of the community.
Exactly.
So,
Come on,
yes,
little-
let's keep
little-
going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, get on my
Thank
phone.
you, guys.
I will
Okay.
tell you, this center would not be the center. It would just be a big, beautiful building. It would not be, the members are the heartbeat of the center. But the community, with their support, that's why we do what we do. That's why we try to keep growing. That's why
Right.
we don't just are not complacent to just come play bunco or bingo. Let's try. Let's be cutting edge. Let's try something. Why not? You know,
There you
why
go.
not? It's I don't understand not trying something. I mean, don't be afraid to fail. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Makes sense to me.
I mean, all my board could ever do is say no.
Right.
Every time I've asked, they can say no. You know, DART Foundation. This is the DART company here. It is their foundation, and they believe in this project. But that is a community. That is a company here in
That's
this
right.
community. You know, it's not someone from New York City. So even though the New York Times has been here and has done a story on our members. This is one of our media rooms. Again, we play bunco in here. We play bridge in here. We also have health and wellness seminars. We have a Parkinson's support. We have memory screenings for pre-Alzheimer's. We also do Alzheimer's support. We have diabetic foot care. We'll be here tomorrow. We have different health agencies that come in and do blood pressure and blood glucose checks. We have we have March is our Heart Healthy Month. We'll start doing some seminars on that. And of course, you've been in this is another media room.
Right.
And again, what we do is, in here they play dominoes in 42. We have creative writing class. We have an author that's published 3 books. She takes her time to come in and mentor and tutor seniors that have nothing but time.
Write it out.
Leave a legacy. You know, don't just go away. Don't just fade away.
Right.
Just because you're a senior and retired doesn't mean you're done. You know?
Exactly.
It means you need to be doing something else. This is our computer lab. We have classes in here. Again, all of our members have access to the labs. We have Ancestry.com, we have a smartphone, we have computer classes. We teach them how to download the pictures from their phone, and we have Movie Maker program installed so they learn to leave a legacy for their family up and coming. Again, over here we have this class across the hall. Yes, again, a community.
Yeah.
This is our Nifty Needlers class, and what they do in here is quite fun. They have, we have quilting, we have sewing, we have loom knit hats, we have crocheting, we have Pretty Feet, where the members come in. Some of the members can't get into the pedicure chairs, so we have a specialist come in and she does their nails for them. She soaks and cuts. We have a barber that comes in and does little haircuts for them. We try to make sure that we have like maybe 10 right now riders. They no longer drive. We have a contract with Meals on Wheels and the grants that I've received to help our members that can't drive and can't get out. The bus picks them up. They come up here. They have a hot meal. They can have a social sewing hour or work on the computers. They can have a pedicure. They can get a haircut. These are things that if they were at home, they would have to rely on a caregiver or a family member to be able to come and get them and take them and do things. You know, that's what this senior center is for. It is for the seniors in the community. Southern Ellis County, we have members in Ennis and Palmer and Grandview and Venus and Maypearl, Midlothian. You know, we strive to make sure that we have something for everyone. This is our art department, and they're all very, very active in here. We have kilns, we do stepping stones, we do ceramics, we have different Mondays or different art projects, we have woodworking class. On Fridays we have painting class. We have an art teacher that comes in and paints. Every day there's something going on in here. Our woodworking group is off-site now. Our teacher has a big shop, so they go to his shop because he has laser tools and stuff, where the center could never afford equipment like that. He has stepped up, again, a volunteer. I have 70 volunteers that help me run the center. Without them, this center would just be playing bingo and having lunch and maybe Bunko or Texas Hold'em. You know, the people that step up and take pride and ownership of this building are my volunteers. That's what the senior center is about. It's about the members, and they are the heartbeat of the center. I just hope that when they see our new learning center, that they'll understand that it was for them. This is our library. When I started 7 years ago, we had 6 bookshelves, that corner and that corner. Through the generosity and donation of the community, once again, we have filled this room with shelves and shelves and shelves of books. We have members that come in and work puzzles. This is the best hand-eye coordination that you could probably want. Exercises for your brain to keep your brain healthy. Puzzles, Texas Hold'em, solitaire, bunco, doing all kinds of card games, playing dominoes. But as you come around, you'll see we have paperback, we have softback, hardback. We have Kuntz, we have Clancy, we have Mary Helen Higgins. We have complete collections of Louis L'Amour, old westerns, Love Inspired. This is our Pat Pratt. She is our creative writing instructor. These are her books that she's published. She's donated them again back to the senior center. Just another member that has stepped up to make sure to pass on her knowledge.
There you go.
So you can check out puzzles. People bring in magazines. We're on the honor system. We also have an outdoor garden. When I started, we had 30 beds, and they were all these little small 1 foot by 10 foot beds. And as you walk out here, you'll see it's not too cold for you.
Oh no, I've got my 10 layers of clothes on. I'm good.
So do I. We have 70 beds now. When we started to expand our garden area, again, I had the help of the community. The Lowe's Heroes program, twice those wonderful employees of Lowe's have been here. Sam Gonzalez has sent his heroes to help us. They've built us all of the raised beds that you see. Those are considered handicap beds. I don't like to say the word handicap. I like to say limited. But they are ADA compliant, and they have a lip around the top.
There
where
you
if
go.
You're in a wheelchair,
ADA compliant.
yes,
That's
you
good.
you put your hand on it, you reach over and you plant. My whole concern was that I wanted, even if you're limited or in a scooter or on a walker or in a wheelchair, that you could still come out and enjoy fresh
Get your
air and
hands in the dirt.
Yes, that's dirt therapy. And we had specials made. One of our members, again, one of my members, made this furniture for us. These are called bench tables. So if you're in a wheelchair or walker and you wanted to come out and have a little lunch with your family, we'll ride up to it. All of these are built for the seniors. They've got a double handle. They're heavy duty chains. If you have difficulty getting up, you have another handle to raise. I mean, you can see the gardens. They're all sold. There's 70 of them.
Wow.
They rent them. They pay 10, 20, or 30 for the high beds, and $5 a year for water. And we have a beautiful garden club. They meet once a month. And again, they're out. They're getting fresh air, sunshine. They give vegetables to the members that need it. Sometimes they bring them to me. I love the fresh okra. What's your step?
Oh yeah.
All of this was built by donations. The park, the pavilion, the extra walking trail. The city, of course, gave us the land. Mr. Mitchell gave us another 11 feet. When I went to him and I said, "Can I expand my garden?" He went, "Yeah, what do you need?" I said, 11 more feet on the walking trail. And he said, "Okay." So this is the beginning of our STEM, and the STEM garden is, the name of it is Living Today for Tomorrow. It's the next generation education STEM garden. And the reason we have STEM is because the curriculum that's being taught in school is science, technology, engineering, and math. And we wanted to have a program that fit with the kids. This is not a playground. They are not going to come out here and run and play. They're going to come and interact with the seniors in certain areas and learn about energy conservation, soil conservation, water conservation. We're going to have this beautiful pavilion that you see here. This is the DART Technology Center. The DART Foundation donated the money. Inside there you will see touchscreen panels where they can interact. And they,
Okay.
what young adult doesn't know computers? How many seniors know computers? Tell me the kids can't teach us something. This is my butterfly garden. Now, if you would come in the spring, it is so beautiful, and it was full of butterflies. This is phase 1, and it is complete. It will be our life science teaching area. We have 6 master naturalists coming to help teach. We have 2 with masters in science. One is biology, one's botany. So we have retired teachers, we have retired engineers, we have retired professionals that we will incorporate to come out and use the area to teach the children. This area that you see here, Texas AgriLife has a program with soil and water conservation. This will be an aquifer here that they will see, and the kids can actually come and they'll pour water in it and they'll see how the water erodes the earth. When we get the little kiosk, the learning kiosk built here, Texas AgriLife will drive a trailer right here, open the trailer, they have a learning trailer. The kids go right down and they learn. and they walk away. Everyone will come in with a passport, and on that passport, it's a passport to learning. And as they go from area to area, they'll have a stamp. But again, everything's being built by donations. The city gave me the land, and they said, you pay for it. And I said, okay, well, we will. Because I have a faith in the community that I know that we can build this. I know that, and again, as it comes together, people will realize that this is something that the seniors need. It will keep them young. I promise.
Okay, and just real quick, on the fence.
Yes.
Where would the fence be going?
The security fence will go along the end of the butterfly garden here. The butterfly garden will always be open. I built that for the seniors, and it will always stay open. Anybody in this city can come out here, or in Alice County, can come and enjoy our butterflies. We are a way station from the state of Texas. We are certified as a Monarch way station. So anybody can come to this little beautiful garden and sit and enjoy the butterflies. We do have bees, though. That's just
comes with the territory.
But the fence will go along, and it'll go along the outside of the retaining wall. You'll see the ramp that goes down there. That is ADA compliant. The buses will park here against the street. Kids will come in. Over here we'll have two of our garden areas that we're building will be edible and culinary. We want to teach the kids the difference, and also we'll have composting and a worm farm. We're doing hydroponics, and by the grace of God, we're going to have a tree house here. The U.S. Forestry is coming in, and it is a playground tree house that you see that's fabricated, but we will teach the kids the life cycle of trees and the habitats and the animals that live in it, and the importance of conserving. You know, this whole garden is about conserving, living today for tomorrow. That I woke up with that, and that's what it will be. I hope eventually, but yes, our tree house will go there. We have wind, water, and solar power here. You see, it's already, the pipes are already in. The solar power, it is a flower, and it's amazing. It's called a smart flower. And as the sun comes up, the petals open. As the sun goes down, they retract.
I was wondering what you were talking about in the
So
meeting.
it's our smart flower.
Okay.
It's a $36,000 apparatus, and I've asked for grant money for it. When it comes in, and it will, we'll build it. But even though you see a big empty slab, I hope that people will see the vision of kids coming in, a field trip. We've got a field trip with 20 kids. We've got 4 kids, 4 kids, 4 kids. We've got 4 kids, we've got 4 kids, we've got 4 kids. We have seniors out here working with these kids, you know, and why would it not work? In my mind, I just say, why not? You know, the fence will go all the way around here. Everything is secured. I mean, we're going to have cameras on the buildings. We're going to have alarms. We will have technology. This is not a playground. This doesn't need to be in a park. It is not a playground. It's not meant to play on. It's meant to learn. And why not be the first senior center to do something like this? Why does it have to be a playground? Why does it have to be a school?
Here you go.
I mean, I keep telling everybody, well, why not? What do we have to lose? But what do we have to lose? You know, I have domestic gardeners. They want to build a greenhouse over there once we get the garden fixed. We can show the kids how to grow in the winter. You know? I mean, I have an army of volunteers signed up to help. I have teachers. I have schools. I have the superintendent of WISD, you know, thinks it's a great idea. He wants to partner, and let's do this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just for there's a few comments down here.
Sure.
FYI, first of all, there's a question about the candidates. With this, you have primary elections happening right now. Mm-hmm. So someone's interested in wondering if the senior citizen would be interested in talking to some of the candidates that are running for the various positions.
Well, that's something that we don't really do here. We don't have a open forum here. It's never been a location where everyone could come and do that. It's not that we couldn't. I would have to meet with the city manager. Michael Scott is my boss.
Right.
And if he says do it, then, this is his building
Maybe a
too.
candidate forum
Yes.
before the election.
Sure. I would hope that our seniors have the knowledge of who is running and who they're voting, because it is their money, it's their taxpayer money,
Right.
and that's where it's being spent. Our city council tries to spend it wisely and allocate their funds. Again, we have voter registration tables set up out here always, and we have we've had the Republican women came out and they set up a table to encourage voter registration.
Exactly.
We don't promote
partisan
candidacy.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is just not the place.
Right.
You
But
know,
maybe some candidate forums for both parties, all parties, any candidates might be something to.
If the city manager thinks that's a great idea, that's something that we would run past. John Smith is the Parks and Rec director. The senior center is umbrellaed under his department, so that it's not a no, but it would be a question to go above my head. I'm
There
just
you
the
go.
director.
Exactly.
I open the doors and I set the alarm and.
And motivate the community.
I come
Correct.
up with crazy ideas.
There you go.
I do the best that I can with what I have.
All right, and another one. I know. Let's see, Bill. You were talking about the little library they have in there.
Mm-hmm.
He was worried that it might be redundant with the city library. But
I don't really think so, because we do have an inventory. We do know what books that we have. When we have an overabundance of books, we have called Sims Library and see if would they like to book share. We have talked to the library in the past about actually going online and helping each other and being a partner. Whereas, like some of my members, for instance, that could not be able, that are have sight impairments,
right.
that we could download books for them. We have MP3 players. We've done it in the past. You just tell us if you want Edgar Allan Poe. Well, we get online. We link in with the Sims Library. We put it on that. We give you earbuds and you listen to your book on audio.
Nevermore.
Yes.
Okay, and let's see. City
A
library.
Little House on the Prairie or whatever you want.
Seniors. Let's see. Oh, and Bill's like talking kids. Yes. What we are out here, Bill, is discussing a STEM garden where the kids and the seniors can interact. So they've been working on this.
Yeah, it's an intergenerational outdoor learning facility. It will be secured. It is not a park. It is not a playground. It will not be accessed unless you have scheduled field trips, homeschoolers, Boy Scouts, Eagle Scouts working on their badges in the life science area, Girl Scouts. We're going to teach the kids how to plant, how to culinary, and how to cook with their herbs and spices.
Right.
This is a learning facility. This is not a playground.
Yeah, it's hosted at the senior center, as part of the senior center, and open for limited involvement under scrutiny.
Well, it will be scheduled trips.
Scheduled trips. There you
We'll
go.
have field trips from the schools. We invite homeschoolers. We invite organizations. We've already had Common Ground Ministries is already a partner. The Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club has already been out. We've taught gardening in our garden classes. We look forward to having some of the schools come out with field trips. It is a scheduled, and it will be a regimented trip. It's not coming out just running around a garden. That's not what it's built for.
Right. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much it for what I was looking at. If you guys go to the beginning of this video, you'll see the actual meeting that I came out and streamed, and they were talking about putting up the fence around this, and there was some opposition about the STEM thing, and I figured, well, let's go take a look at what they're doing. So she's given us a tour of the senior center, which I had never been to before, so thank you. And now we got it on Facebook, so anybody else can see it too. And is there anything else you wanted to add?
I welcome anyone to come out. We have open records about the STEM garden. If you want to know about it, it's in our newsletter every month. We'd love for you to come out. If you have ideas, if you want to teach, you want to volunteer, come on. This is a community effort.
All right, cool. All right, guys, I'm going to stop there. If you guys have any questions, call the senior center.
Yes.
Okay, thanks guys.